Nothing like some warm snot.
Choices were made.
Snot, 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 snot.
Everybody!
Body.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that.
You're a jabroni.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
Oh,
Wouldn't
yeah.
change a thing.
Wouldn't change a thing. I'm sure wouldn't.
No notes.
Sure wouldn't. No notes. No notes. Cheers, everyone. AJ, say the thing. Say the line.
Fine. It's Wednesday night. It's What the Show. My name's AJ Lancaster. I'm one of the co-hosts.
Juice just dropped some snot on the ground. Bethany.
Snotted everywhere.
We're the Deacons. Juice is snotting everywhere. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
It's snot, 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 snot. I got allergies. There we go.
Snot.
Mine was running.
Remixing songs is actually part of story time. So, story time.
Oh yeah. Yes, the deacons and AJ will have to pick up the slack with the little clips because I keep getting logged out of the StreamYard and I keep running late and not having time to get back in. But thankfully, I have a story that'll require me to do a lot of talking and give these two groups a lot of time to.
We're ready to do reaction.
Find applicable things. Yeah. Also, I had to get rid of I had to give back the XLR cable that was connecting to my microphone back to where it belongs.
Aww.
I forgot to get a new one. So we're back to the OG days when I'm using my webcam mic. So
yeah,
it don't sound too bad.
It's not terrible, but there's a marginal difference.
A little different. I mean, I could have guessed that.
Tubi is always after that. The only time to watch Tubi.
Very fair.
So before Juice gets into things, you cannot bring Mike Muir down.
Yes.
Now, Juice, get back to what you're going with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're just on the camera.
Yes. So, yes. Yeah, if we're ready to get into the Tufts incident.
Yeah, I would like to.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay. So I've teased this out a little bit. I've given a few little lines. So I am working my nice, fine resort, golf resort, restaurant that I work at, bartending, and we had kind of like a little busy lunch, just in the sense that there was like a very large group in, and they were from out of town. They work for our company, but they were foreign, so they were very demanding on our servers. Without there's obviously a cultural barrier, so they're just shouting things out at the servers, and they're just they're kind of freaking out. So we're trying to like get these servers calmed down. And then the dessert comes around, and like one guy orders espresso, one person sees an espresso, and then just like 15 people are like, "I'll take an espresso." We do not have a machine. We have like a machine for making espresso is going on the villains list this year for me.
Oh, okay.
One I don't even like. I love black coffee.
An espresso martini.
Right now. No.
Espresso martinis are fine. I don't hate them. But it's like espresso in and of itself. Because one guy sees an espresso, because our machine is not made for serving a restaurant. It's made for like, I want espresso at home.
Yeah.
And so suddenly like this thing has to make 15 espressos. And I thought that was going to be the most bizarre part of my day, and little was I wrong. So as I'm trying to make 15 espressos for this group of people and keep my camera focused, a gentleman, so there's a restaurant that's on the resort. I used to work at it. It's called the Horse and Plow.
Okay.
Just for the quick context here. So it's just, it's a walking distance away-ish. And I see someone sitting at the bar or, kind of come up to the bar. I don't know if they're part of the group. I don't know who it is, whatever. I walk over toward them, and this is like a late 30s man, a tall man, late 30s, has a shaved head, but not like totally bald, but like, there's a layer of hair, but it's pretty shaved. However, he has like a Flirtin' Flouse style tuft is the only significant part of hair on his head. The rest is shaved, and there's this tuft. And he has like when I impersonate him, I'm not gonna do like, he definitely had a smoker's voice, but like mixed with like a high pitched voice. So you can tell he naturally has a high voice, but smoker lungs. So like it's deep and high at the same time. So I'm not gonna try and impersonate it, just picture it. But I go up to him and I just see somebody. I'm just kind of like, all right, I'll see what this guy wants. And then like, I start to pick up these details about his appearance as I get closer to him. But like, I go up to him, just, how can I help you, sir? And all I hear is, horse and plow, Cobb salad, ranch dressing, French vinaigrette. And I'm like, what? And he basically, says the same thing again, like horse and plow's got a Cobb salad with ranch dressing and they have French vinaigrette. And I'm like, okay, like, what are you, what do you want? Like, what? So what?
What do you want here?
What do you want? Yeah. And he's like, do you have them? I'm like, do I have what? Like, do you have a Cobb salad? I'm like, no, we don't have a Cobb salad. I try to like start getting a menu, and he's just like, well, do you have those things? Like, do you have them? And I'm like, I bring him the menu. I'm like, well, these are our salads here. Like, I don't know what you're after. He's like, do you have those ingredients? And I'm like, well, like, we have ranch dressing. I'm like, I don't know, like, and he's like, no, I hate ranch. I have a personal vendetta against Hidden Valley.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, I'm boycotting the ranch community.
Hmm.
But wait,
And I'm like, he says because of his vendetta against Hidden Valley, he's boycotting the ranch community. I'm like, well, what do you want? Do you want to know what salad dressings we have? Like, what are you after here? And I'm not getting like any answers. He just keeps going on about the Cobb salad, and he's like, this might be the last time that I have a chance to eat a Cobb salad in a long time. And I'm just like,
Good sir, why?
I've never heard those words in that order in my 34 years on this planet.
I'm like, yeah, hopefully. And so I'm like, sir, I don't know what you want. Like, these are salads. This is, and he's like, all right, well, while I think about that, basically like, let me have something to drink. And I'm like, all right, well, like, what do you want to drink? He's like, what beers do you have? I'm like, the list is right here. I'm still trying to make these espressos, by the way. There's still like 8 espressos to make. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. He's like, do you have like any like Belgians? I'm like, oh, we actually do. Like, we do have a Belgian white. Like, I show him the can. He's like, is it a triple? I'm like, no. And then I can't remember exactly what he said, but something along like another like vendetta against like basically like I don't associate with triple Belgian beers, something like that. I'm just
this man's boycotting a lot, is what
this is where I finally got like snippy and was just like, well, why don't you tell me what you want? And then I walk away and keep making espressos. And then I come back and I'm like, all right, what do you want? He's like, give me this. It's an IPA we have in the can. So I give him, he's like, I'm going to crush a beer. He crushed a beer. Very, very literal and physical. I give him the beer. I went back. I kid you not. I made probably like one more espresso, walked back. Not only had he drank the entire beer, he crushed the can. The can was on the bar. And I'm like,
Okay, he meant that literally.
and then he's like, I'll take another. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna do the same thing again.
When he like breaks the coffee mug and he's like, another.
Yeah.
Another, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another. Yeah. Next thing you know, like he's basically done the same thing again. Like he has literally crushed 2 beers. But like this time I at least get to try and have like a discussion with him about like what he's trying to eat. Which I don't want to, but so I keep going over the menu with him. I'm like, what do you like? He's trying to know like what dressings, what salads. I'm like, he keeps asking these questions about the salads. I finally get him to like agree on ordering one salad. And then he's like, oh wait, I'll take the fish and chips. And I'm like, okay. Fish and chips, fine. That's great. We can talk about it at the end what we think is going on. But I get him to order the fish and chips, and then I'm like, all right, just to make sure, yeah, like fish and chips is what you want. And then he just starts asking like, what kind of chips, what kind of thing, you know, and I'm answering, telling him about our fries. And then he's like, well, like how, like what kind of fish is it? Or no, he didn't even say what kind of fish. I was just like, yeah, it's beer battered. You know, I'm like, it's beer battered. And because he's asking like, oh, is it like a baked fish? I'm like, no, it's beer battered and deep fried haddock. And he's like, oh, I get to choose my fish? I'm like, sir.
What?
It's haddock. It's beer battered and deep fried. And he's like,
how did he get that?
well, what kind of beer? And I'm like,
yes.
And I'm like, it's. And
I love this guy.
I'm like, I explain about the beer. I'm like, it's from Green Bay. It's like Hinterland Brew or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's my name. And I forget what it was. These are one of the moments I wish I could remember because it was so specific. He was like, this word means like kind of like the good land or something like that. Like that's what my name means. And I'm like, great. So you want the fish and chips? Like, yes, okay. I'm putting fish and chips in for you. I gave him one more beer and then I walked away. So whenever I would walk away, he would just keep talking to himself. And I had this just solo lady at a little booth that the bar takes care of that I went to check on her, and she just kind of was like starting to talk like, what the heck is going on with that guy? And I didn't want to respond because we're pretty close. So I just was giving her like subtle, like, yeah, I don't know what the heck, whatever. But so then I come back to him and he's like, you seem like you could be an honest guy. And I'm like, okay, yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Like, what do you think about my basically like about my tufts? Like, what do you think about my hair? He's like, a lot of people don't like it, but like, I think you can be honest with me. What do you think? And I'm like, yeah, man, I think it looks great. I like that you're rocking. I hadn't made the Savoytenflaus connection yet, but I'm like, I think that could like really work. And he's just going on like. He starts talking about like my hair, which today's not a good example of my hair. I was on the moped a lot, and so just
the moped. It was when you saved that old lady.
But he's exactly. And he's just going on. He's starting to just be like, and he's making comments like, yeah, you're like, he's like you. like you don't part your hair the straight way. Like you don't part your hair the straight way. And I'm like, okay, I don't really know what that means. And then he's like,
You're in Pride
you part
Month.
you part your hair the gay way.
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
Sir,
And he's
not
like,
in Pride Month.
he's like, that means. He's like, that means you're very honest. That's why I thought I could be honest with you. You know who else parted their hair the gay way?
Who?
Jeffrey Dahmer's lawyer.
What?
Jesus.
Wait, I gotta see Jeffrey Dahmer's lawyer. I gotta see
Jeffrey
it.
Dahmer's lawyer.
I have to know if he parts his hair the gay way. I gotta know.
Jeez, I gotta tell you, at no
Jeffrey
point in this story can I predict the next word.
No.
It is fantastic. This is why I wrote everything down so that I don't forget. And there's still stuff I've forgotten. There's no way I would have been able to tell this story like this way if I didn't like have it all.
Boyle. All right, I gotta look at Jerry Boyle and see if he parted his hair the gay way.
So
He said it like 7 times.
no part. Give me no part in the hair. I'm gonna guess.
Jerry Boyle. It said it was Jerry Boyle. Okay, hold on. I might have to look. Yes, because there's an author and an attorney.
Yeah, and we're working on this as a team.
Is this him? Represented serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer.
Barely has hair.
I don't know if I look at this man and I go, he parted his hair the gay way. I expected him
That's
to have
amazing.
more pizzazz.
That's amazing.
Finesse, you know?
Yeah.
Even when you look at him at the time,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
that's like he had a Wade Phillips haircut
That's
during the trial.
fantastic.
Here he is during the trial. would we say that's a gay part? I don't know.
I mean,
I guess it is the way that I have my hair. I
Should
guess.
I have a group
And-
chat that is full of 6
Well,
queer
like-
women. Should I ask them, do you consider this part to be gay?
Okay, here's the thing
I need
though.
to-
Perfect story to kick off, Jerry.
Happy Pride Month.
That is how Lindsay Green parts his hair.
True. So we're saying he parts it the gay way.
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Oh.
Well, and it was so funny. It was like when he's saying like you don't part your hair the straight way. I'm like in my head. I'm like, what in the world does he mean by the straight way? Like, what's the alternative? I didn't even think like straight versus gay. I thought it was straight versus curly or straight. Straight like because it's like, do you have straight hair or curly hair? It was. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh man.
But every time.
Jeffrey Dahmer's attorney.
Every time that I would leave, because I think by this point, like that big group had finally like left by the time we got to like the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff.
All the espresso.
So the only people that were in the bar was just this like the only people in the restaurant was this very, very old couple, or not like pretty old, like they're sitting in the restaurant, and I told them, I sat them like before this guy came in. When the group was still there, I sat them, and like the only seat we had, or the guy had like a walker, and so it would, the guy was very old. So I was like, I'm sorry, I got like you're next to this loud group, but like they're going to be getting up soon. I didn't expect that the restaurant would probably be louder because of this one guy than this group of like 24 foreign business people. But like but then I guess so every time I leave the restaurant or I leave the bar because I'm like, I need a break from this guy. I go into the kitchen and one of the servers runs after me and is like, Justin, you need to get back in there. He's yelling, Abercrombie, gelato! Abercrombie, gelato! Like, he's yelling. He's turning around and just yelling at the restaurant. He's like, get back out there. And I'm like, what in the world? I get out, and he's gone. He's gone.
Had he not paid for his food?
So No, he went outside to smoke a cigarette.
Okay.
So he went outside. He's smoking a cigarette, and I actually made a comment to, like our boss, our main manager was like in the office, and there was another manager just at the host stand. And like as I was walking, like because after the Jeffrey Dahmer comments, I got like legitimately uncomfortable. So like I as I pass her while I'm walking in the kitchen, I'm just like, just have security's number ready. Which is the great part about working where we work is we have a security team. So like,
question,
just be ready to call security.
This happened days ago. I instantly needed to look up Jeffrey Dahmer's attorney's hair. Have you not inquired on his hair until I just showed it to you?
No.
Because I would have looked it up instantly.
I thought about it, but I just wanted to kind of go with it.
Or
just kind of imagine it.
That you have shown that you did not immediately look that up. I just want you to know that. Okay, carry on.
Abercrombie.
No.
Listen, Abercrombie gelato would be disgusting because the smell that permeates out of Abercrombie, you would not want to like enjoy a gelato in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You mean fierce?
So he's outside. He's smoking a cigarette. So me and that one manager, her and I just start talking, and we're just like, what do we think? Like, I'm kind of explaining some things. Like, do we call? Like, I'm like, he hasn't necessarily crossed the line yet. I'm like, however, like bringing up Jeffrey Dahmer and that's just that. So we're talking about, and then our boss comes out and sees us in kind of this intense conversation, is like, what's going on? So we explain to her, we catch her up to speed, and she is just like, okay, so are we uncomfortable? And both me and the other manager say yes. She's like, I'm calling security. So she calls security. So security comes through, and they come like through like our kitchen. So like we're able to like talk to them and explain everything. Or they are. I'm just kind of staying out. So they come out, and they are just, so we're basically like, all right, he's ordered his food. Why don't we just box his food up for him? We box the food up and we just give it to him like he's ordered it to go, and be like, here's your food. Thank you so much. We do need you to leave the property, but like, here you go. And so So basically, yeah, like kind of like that's the plan. Security's there. They're right there. They're standing. They're standing by, awaiting. He's still outside. So I'm kind of like standing at our host stand in the middle of the restaurant. He's outside because we have a patio area like through the restaurant. So he comes back in like through the restaurant and done smoking his cigarette. He puts the cigarette butt out in like an empty glass, which was great. And then I didn't discover that till like 2 hours later. It's funny. But like he comes into the restaurant, back to the restaurant, is at the host. Like I'm standing at the host stand, security's right there. And he just walks up to me and he's like, "Excuse me, my good sir. Where is your sizzler?"
Sizzler? As in
what year is it?
the restaurant, or like what is a sizzler to him?
I'm just like, does he think he's in a sizzler? I'm like sizzler? And he's just like, "Yes, my good sir, where's your sizzler?" And I'm like, "The bathroom?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like,
okay, the bathroom.
It's right there. So he goes to the bathroom.
What are we
and basically like
in the bathroom?
Question.
Squeeze it
Look
easy.
like
So
Oh god.
So he gets out of the bathroom. My boss has the to-go food. So I'm standing. So she goes behind the bar to like directly go in front of him. I'm standing like kind of on the other side of the bar, just so I'm closer to him. And then security's kind of on the other side there. So like if anything funny goes down, like I'm at least close to him, and security's close to him. So she's around the bar, and she's just like basically like, hi there, like here's your food, like thanks so much. And he just hands her the credit card. Like he just pulls out the credit card. I think we were just gonna let him go. Like we just wanted him out of there. But he actually like grabbed his credit card. So I just like quick pop around and like okay, so she's before he hands the credit card, the first thing he says was like, oh, like here's your food, like thank you so much, like we are gonna need you to leave the property, and he's just like, shot of house whiskey.
Yes.
He's like, what's right or not?
And she's like, no, I'm sorry, like we're all done, but like here's your food, like thank you so much. So he hands his card. And then like some little comment about like clothing is brought up from him. And he's just basically like, he says to her like, so what's your favorite brand of outdoor clothing? So I go and run the card while like she's talking about Patagonia and he's talking about, I forget what he brings up or whatever, but they're just having this thing. Abercrombie. Yeah, exactly. Probably.
You know,
I think
really keep you warm. The old Abercrombie.
So obviously clothing. So I go back. Oh wait. Yeah, so I go back. I'm like running his card while she's like having this conversation, and then I get the card back. So she's we got him closing out. So she goes after the clothing discussion. She walks back and just kind of gets to safety, and then I'm kind of standing. I go back to like where I am. I go back to where I am, just like at the edge of the bar, just kind of like close enough, but like far away enough. Just interesting. And then he just starts. So he brings the horse as he's signing his tab. It takes him literally like 3 minutes to sign the tab. And he actually did his math very correctly. And I got $11 from him, which is great.
Hey,
so he's sitting there, and he starts asking me. He's like, yeah, like the Horse and Plow used to have such great beers. Their beers were so good. But nowadays, like,
oh man,
I would rather suck up than drink one of their beers. And I just look over at the security guy. I look over at the guy doing security, and I'm just like, I wouldn't.
Happy Pride, everybody.
It's June.
If you want to part your hair,
it was
like
crazy.
Jeffrey Dahmer's attorney, we just want you to know we salute that here at What the Show.
Okay. My insane person is a shorter story. Go ahead.
It was and this is basically it. That's kind of like the last big thing. But then, while he was going to the bathroom, during the Sizzler interaction, not while he was going to the bathroom, but during the Sizzler, he might have been going to the bathroom, but before he got to the bathroom, he asked me what my name was. And I mean, I have my name tag. I'm like, Justin. And then I'm like, I shouldn't have said my name. And he's like, Tim? And I'm like, Tim,
Yeah,
yes.
It's
You
Tim,
got
man.
So finally, after he's done signing the card, like I walk over and I go to basically just like open the door and hold the door open for him as he leaves, while security is kind of like still right there. And he leaves and he's just like, all right, here we go. Like, yeah, thanks, Timbo. And that was it. And he goes and leaves. Like, thanks, Timbo is gone.
Timbo juice.
And
It's good night.
that was it. And then apparently, and then I thought that was it. But then the next day, one of the server that told me about the Abercrombie gelato, she comes up to me and is like, hey, yeah, so as I was leaving yesterday, I was leaving right as he was leaving, and I saw him go up to a person in the parking lot. The person in the parking lot was like one of our like high up execs in the company.
Oh.
And he runs up to the guy and is like, hey, I know you. And basically starts like badgering this like high up exec. And our server like kind of runs over and makes eye contact with him because he's like, I don't know you, man. It makes eye contact with him and just like points to security that's like standing there watching, like, hey, don't worry, like we security's here, like you're safe, but like so it was just crazy. But yeah, I mean that was it. That was
Legend.
That
Absolute
sounds
legend.
like
that was something.
This guy.
What do you put him on?
Forget about it. Ladies, you need new life's new revolutionary technology. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna eat some cheese, you're gonna shut up your mouth.
That's what you should have told them.
You handled it well, Timbo.
He
Timbo.
probably would have.
Timbo.
Timbo.
We're changing
Yeah.
the names in all the group chats. I'm sorry.
Part of me wants to say legend, hero. Chaotic neutral, though, I feel like fits this man best.
I don't know if he's
Abercrombie
neutral, though. He
gelato.
made people comfortable. Abercrombie gelato, by the way, going on a T-shirt.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, excuse me, good sir, where's your sizzler? Like that's legendary. It's so tough. I mean, well,
I
It's
think
so
the
interesting,
gay
'cause it's
part
like,
made
he
famous
kept-
by Jeffrey Dahmer's lawyer should be a T-shirt sold for Pride. At your next
Like,
Pride
part of
event,
me wants to-
that's great.
part of me is like villains. Part of me is heroes. Part of me is chaotic neutral. Like he could go on any of them. He should go on all of them. He should go on all of them.
This
We're
guy just deserves his own Hall of Fame.
Abercrombie gelato. Most all of us.
So,
Guys, it's been a chaotic neutral week, but I think he's the best one.
Yeah, he really he was.
and the Zaflirtenflaus Tuft
the top.
is like the cherry on top.
I'm really not over the
Like,
top or anything really that was said in this exchange. You get to pick your own fish. No, sir.
yeah. All right. Yeah, you got fried beer battered haddock. Oh, you pick your own fish. Horse and plow.
So he
Horse and
thought
plow
fried
comes
beer
salad, ranch
battered
dressing,
and
French vinaigrette.
he thought fried beer battered and haddock were separate options. Is what I'm getting. from this.
Also, did he was at the horse. He seems really obsessed with the horse and plow, and he was not.
Oh, so I told. What's that?
Is he banned from there? Like, I want to believe in my head he is.
No. So kind of. So I called. So I told. I told the manager. The one before, I'm like, hey, you call Horse and Plow and ask if he was just there, and he was. So I think because I know one of the bartenders over there. I mean, I know all the bartenders over there, but like one of the bartenders would not put up with that. One of the bartenders would have just been like, dude, like, we can't tell people to F off, but like he would have done
As close
the
to it.
equivalent
closest he
of
could.
F off. Yeah. Like and if that guy was there, he would have just been like, get out of here. So I think that's what happened. I think he came in the way he was. So my like personal, I think he was a person that has probably his brain has been fried on a lot of drugs and alcohol over many years, and then is very drunk and probably other stuff coming in as well.
I have
because there was only like this was lunch. This was lunch. This was like 2:00.
One heck of a lunch.
Like this wasn't 9:00 at night. But yeah,
I have another plausible theory. Like, okay, so my entrant is way less exciting, but both the Deacons and I went to separate concerts this weekend, separate live touring shows, right? And my group, we were all meeting up for like an early dinner, late lunch, and then we're going to go into the concert somewhere that's walking distance from the arena, right? So we're at the sports bar, and we're meeting up with one of the people in my group. Her friend was driving down was coming in from Colorado, and they had a whole group, right? And he comes in and is like, hey, man, I'm going to sit with you guys. I'm going to let them have their own table. I flew in yesterday. These people drove, and I told them not to drive because they're going to be in a bad mood, and they're all in a bad mood. And like Chad there, he's been pain in the ass, but he just got done driving, and he could take his Xanax. He's going to be fine. I'm like, okay, I don't even think about that. He's like, but he's like super sweet guy. And I'm just like, okay, so that's that guy's name there. And like when we're leaving, we're waiting, we're walking distance. We can see the arena from where we're at, but it's pouring rain. So we're like, an Uber is $7. We can
take
just
Uber.
Yeah. So we're waiting outside, like right under an awning. Dude comes out for a smoke, and he's talking to my group, and I'm kind of off to the side. And I walk up, I'm like, hey, Chad, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a minute. Mike, I did the AJ special.
You certainly did, yes.
And keep it going, just like I do, just like, hey, has work been good? Like, has it been like 2 years you've been in Colorado now? All that stuff. And like, we have a good conversation. He doesn't know me by the end of it. The best part. We get to the concert, right? It's the intermission of the concert. This concert's 3 bands on stage continuously. Like, they do an intermission, and then it's back to it. The intermission. We see him. And he's wrapped in fine Indian scarves. We don't know why. And I walk up to him like,
whoa.
Hey, Chad, haven't seen you in a minute.
Oh.
Again.
Chad is probably having a little bit of a nervous breakdown inside.
Well, I should have mentioned I saw him with a short glass when he was walking through the bar, and like somebody mentioned, yeah, he was just able to take his Xanax, and I saw like a short glass. I was like, that's gonna be fun. Skip that detail. That's my maybe I was the age of chaos there, but it's a good weekend.
AJ for chaotic neutral.
AJ for the chaotic neutral bracket. Also,
2020. Hang on, can we I need to go to the bathroom really bad. Can we before we get to like the next big thing? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we get to the next big thing, you can't bring Mike Muir down. Now, getting on to less important things. This weekend we also were out of town. I would like to give a gigantic fuck you, not a chaotic neutral, a fuck you to both traffic in South Carolina and mainly to the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it took us, and I shit you not on this, to get 0.6 miles, not even 1 mile, 0.6 miles. It took me 80 fucking minutes. So yes, fuck you, Charlotte, North Carolina traffic.
please brag about how your wife waited in a 90-minute queue just for you.
Well, I'll let you explain this.
Sorry, I had to come back with a fresh espresso martini to get into the second.
So hold off on the ST part, but you can go to the merch part.
So what's the ST part?
Mike. Well, I'm trying not to spoil it.
Okay,
You can go to the merch part.
Oh, when you say ST, you mean suicidal tendencies. I think of Stranger Things when someone says the initials ST.
Because you actually missed the song where they kept screaming ST.
Well, no, I heard it. Actually, I was waiting in the queue line, and he had said it before that. But in my mind, my friend's initials are like ST, and every time I see it, I go Stranger Things. It's what my mind goes to personally. But different strokes for different folks. All right. So here we go. Merch line. Ready? Okay. This part is not exciting. This is just that I did wait in a 90-minute line for merch. For me, nothing. I love a queue. I live for a queue. This one would have been a big crybaby about it. So it worked out really great because me and two of my friends were like, yeah, whatever. Like, we're fine with missing, everyone I've talked to basically was like, you're probably not going to like Pantera. And I was like, I have no problems missing Pantera then, especially because the only song I know is PTSD for me because it's a song we used to play at work. So I was like, I will wait in this queue. So we watched a little bit of Suicidal Tendencies, and then we go ahead and get in this queue, and it took 90 minutes to get through, of which at this point, most of the merch is already sold out. But we did buy some merch. I think I did good. And then he was happy because he was just rocking out to the people that he skipped his senior prom for. So, it was a win-win-win for everyone. I love a queue. He loves a metal band. We were all winners. But let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this, okay? Everyone, espresso martini. Raise a drink. So, yes, this is
Grabbed
where
the tea and twisted it. Let's go.
everyone did say that I would probably like Suicidal Tendencies because, as we have learned in my metal taste, I'm more of a thrash girly pop. Can you be a girly pop and be whatever? It's fine. I am. Anywho, so there we were, little Suicidal Tendencies moment, and this is where I learned about the brilliance of Mike Muir and his rat tail and his love for. Okay, Mike and I have this joke. Mike and I have this joke. It's been a big night, guys. The Wicked for Good trailer came out, and I cried. It's fine. You're right. ST could also stand for Star Trek. So many things. Anywho. So Mike and I had this running joke because at the time that Mike waited in the autograph queue for Ray Park at Star Wars Celebration 2019, What's Up? Juice was there as well, that he is still currently in Chicago signing autographs.
There was maybe 20 people in front of me for this particular line.
Yes.
And that line took over an hour.
Ray Park likes to take your time. He likes to
Ray
take his
Park's
time
great
with
to
you,
me.
which is great.
Yeah.
But it does mean that you have to have some patience and that it takes a long time for his queue to dump because
he actually takes less people than most.
Yes, because he wants to really have everyone have a nice experience. And we salute you for that, Ray Park. So anywho, we ran into the next version of that this weekend, which is that how long is the actual runtime on the song Can't Bring Me Down?
I'll double check. Hold on. It's 5 minutes of it.
So Suicidal Tendencies comes out, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to watch some of their set. I've heard I will probably enjoy them. And Mike Muir, the lead singer, honestly, some of it was kind of nice. He was really just being it was very motivational speaker. He's like, you can't bring me down. And then he's like, no, I want you all to say it. No, I want you to say it with meaning this time. He's looking up how long the song is. We're on an ad right now for Monopoly Slots.
5 minutes and 46
seconds. 5
seconds.
minutes and 46 seconds. The version of this song, at a certain point, I was certain Metallica might not have time to come on the stage. We're just going to be here. And I thought it ended, and then it carried on. At one point, he went into the crowd, and he was like, there's a child lost in aisle 4. And I was like, this is for sure the end of this song. And then, no, he made it back to the main stage. And he's like, you can't bring me down. And I was like, we get it. Yes.
And
yeah. And he was but then I was kind of with him. And I'm like, you're right, man. You can't bring me down. And then I was like, am I in a motivational speech right now? I don't know, but I was kind of feeling it. And he was like, this isn't really going to work. This isn't going to translate on camera because you can't see all of me. but he has 2 dance moves. One of them is this weird like arm thing that he does, and it's just kind of like
Mhm.
yeah, and it's
It's
great.
been doing that for a while.
And then, and then his other dance move is what I finally determined, because as I was watching it at the concert, I was like, what does this remind me of? And then when we got home, we looked it up, and we looked at a video of him doing the longest version of this song ever. And it dawned on me, it's sword fighting footwork. Like, he literally puts his left foot forward, his right foot back a little bit of an angle, and shuffles forward. And this is
Nice.
anyone out there who does any basic of any kind of sword fighting, fencing, lightsaber. It's all the same footwork, okay? Watch a movie. It's all the fucking same. Anyways, this is his 2 dance moves. We're obsessed. Us and a couple of friends that we went with are all planning on like walking through HHN like this with the combination with the footwork and the hand movement.
And yelling, you can't bring me down.
And yelling, you can't bring me down.
down.
We're absolutely obsessed. So my next thing is about Pantera, okay? The song Walk. This is not going to be funny for
She's waiting in line.
literally anyone else. Anywho, what y'all don't understand is for 6.5 years, I really got to stress this. For 6.5 years, I heard this song at least once a day, 5 days a week, okay? At least once a day, sometimes 2 times if it was a long shift. We're talking maybe 3 or 4, depending on how the shuffle of the loop happens, okay? So this song is ingrained in my head. This song gives me PTSD. I feel like I'm in the weeds. I feel like the kitchen is crashing. I like, you know what I mean? Some Brazilian person is cursing me out. Like, these are the feelings that this song gives me, okay? So we are walking in to the stadium. This one is Stress. He's all like, we're not making Suicide Summer. I'm like, we're gonna be fine. Spoiler alert, we made it in time for the open. It was fine. So we're all fine, okay? So we're getting there. And if you've ever been to a concert or any big sporting event or anything, you know those little bicycle pedicab people are going around. They're hustling. I respect you. I salute you. Make that money. And they always have the music on, and pedicab people know how to theme, and I respect that. They always got music on of like who you're about to go see or like the vibes you're about to go see. So there's a guy pedaling his little butt off, and what song is on? And I'm already gonna have to hear it tonight, so I'm already about it. Walk by Pantera is on. So our friend that we're with, Stephanie, goes, that's not accurate. You're on a bike. Fucking fantastic.
Yes.
That was a line without missing a beat. So I go, oh, have you not heard the remix, Bike? So then we started doing it. Respect. Bike. Are you yielding to me? And this became our new version of the song. And we sang this all weekend, baby. There we are waiting for the cue. They start singing it, and every time he's like, walk, we're like, Bike, are you yielding to me? And it became our new favorite thing. And again, this is really not funny to anyone else, but to me,
No, it's hilarious.
Now,
Oh, it's great. Yeah, absolutely.
shirt, and I intend to buy it. I want to make it. We're making this
I'm
happen.
stealing this.
100%.
I'm giving you credit.
Absolutely.
I'm
Now,
going to be
speaking of-
doing it though.
speaking of bikes, though,
Every time anyone ever hears the song Walk, I need you all to do the remix version and yell out, Bike, are you yielding to me?
See, my thing was always I wanted Panera to get walking tacos. Yeah, Panera. Fuck it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I love
Wah, 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 wah.
No, I liked it. It was good.
Now, speaking of bike,
Pantera,
the next day
Pantera bread.
was another incident with the bike, completely unrelated.
Oh, but wait, can I first talk about you in regards to You Can't Bring Me Down?
Okay,
we also need to talk. Okay, so Suicidal Tendencies, one of their most famous songs is the song Institutionalized. Okay, so AJ and Mike like to talk about it. All he wanted was a Pepsi, blah, blah, blah. Mike, honestly, the first time I heard it was when AJ was in town. Was like, have you ever heard the Body Count version? And we're like, we sure as hell haven't. So we listened to it, and it's fantastic. So then, of course, we have to tell our other friends, have you ever heard the Body Count version? They're like, no. And so I tell them about how the line fuck Oprah just like gets me out of everything. So we go to Carolyn's the next day. And I think AJ's playing a little ditty for me. And we go to Carolyn's
Sorry,
the next
yeah,
day.
yep.
Oh. And was that you, Juice? Still playing a little music? And our friend Aaron is scared to get on the soda roller coaster. Mind you, so am I, but I'm not going to do it.
It's
but
not
he's
even
trying
the
to be
biggest
brave.
one.
It's the second biggest. So he's a little worried. So he is on this ride, okay? And the entire like lift hill up, he's doing the You Can't Bring Me Down chant from Mike Muir. Thank you, motivational speaker. And then once he gets to the drop, he basically is just like, fuck Oprah! Fuck Oprah! And that's my other favorite thing that's I think ever happened, honestly. So I'd really like to just fuck Oprah, the new version of Bike. So good.
And Mike Weir is still he's still telling me that
they played a gig in Atlanta since then, but I actually think he's still in Charlotte letting people know.
Mike Weir is still telling us that we cannot bring him down.
Now, the next day, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. Wait, hold on. Speaking of bikes, I do want to let everyone know the greatest thing ever happened to me. Not actually the greatest thing, but it was pretty cool and it was funny timing. There I am at Metallica. I'm hyped for 3 songs. One song they didn't even play. And Mike told me I wasn't allowed to be disappointed when they didn't open with it. And I said, am I allowed to be a little bit disappointed? And he said, yeah, that's fine. So they start off with Creeping Death. But at one point you do get to chant Die. And I was saying die to that song because it took the rightful spot of Whiplash, which is a far superior song. I will not be hearing any other criticism or any other notes. Whiplash is a better song. And I stand my ground on this, okay? Anywho, I digress. The other song I was really looking forward to is Fuel because that song is, pun intended, fucking fire. The other song I was looking forward to was Master of Puppets, okay? And I had a little jacket made, and in my jacket, my friend put for Eddie because I am a Stranger Things girly pop. Anywho, there I am. Seek and Destroy is on, okay? And they released the balls. And I wanted to get a boomerang of the balls, so I open up Instagram, hot quick. This is the third to last song, okay? They're going to do Seek and Destroy, they're going to do Master of Puppets, and then they're going to end with Enter Sandman, which I also have a personal vendetta against because I also had to listen to that at work. Another thing. I also came up with Swiftie lore for Metallica songs and fandom from what I noticed in the wild. We'll get to that as well. Anywho, so there I am. I pop on Instagram real quick to do this quick boomerang of the balls, right? And sounds weird out of context. Anywho, beach balls. So there I am doing this. Just then is when they drop on Instagram when Stranger Things final season is being released. So that news comes out right before Master of Puppets plays, y'all. Freaking live. I was like, this is effing wild. Again, is anyone else excited about this? No. But it made my night. So I just wanted to share it with everyone. Here is a Swiftie in the wild doing, I'm going to do a nature documentary moment. Okay, here we go. I had the opportunity as a Swiftie to go into the wilds of a Metallica concert. And here I've come back with my findings. I don't know what this accent is, but most nature documentaries are hosted by Richard Attenborough, and he is British. Anywho, I'm going to drop this now. In the wild, this is what I've noticed. Okay, this is the intel I've got. All right. I did break some bracelets, and I did give it to the girl behind me. I did trade one. Anyways, so 1 to Metallica fans is what Reputation is to Swifties.
Yep.
Go ape shit for that. Ape shit. I'm telling you. I was like, oh, y'all real hype for this one. Crazy. Okay. That's our Reputation. The second we hear those the little snake sounds and her little clippity cloppity heels, we're all like, ah! That is what Metallica fans are like when 1 comes on. Okay. Lost their ever loving minds. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, Enter Sandman is to Metallica fans what Shake It Off is to Swifties.
Yep.
Okay? It's the number 1 song that everyone knows. Real fans don't really effing like the song. It comes on your shuffle and you're like, I'm going to skip it. But you see it live and you're like, this song does kind of slap. This song does kind of slap live. I hate to say it, but this does kind of slap live. That, Shake It Off, Enter Sandman, it's the same. It's the same. I'm just saying.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's not, yeah. It's not like a Metallica. It's not like a, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
knows it.
A casual.
Don't really like the song, but all the casual fans are like, I know this one.
Because what? Well, what do you put, Bethany? Like the You Belong With Me and the Love Story. Like those are like my favorite Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah,
the old ones. Where
they're not exactly Shake It Off level, but they're like a tier below that.
It's like a Nothing Else Matters from Metallica.
Yes, great comparison.
Because I don't necessarily have like the Metallica
Which
Love
also
Story
it
is
started
not-
raining for a hot second and only for Nothing Else Matters, which was so vibes. I was like, oh, Mother Nature wanted to really turn this moment into a moment. We salute you on that, Mother Nature. But yeah, that is what I would say that that's a good comparable thing.
Mhm.
Or maybe even because again, Master of Puppets at this point is pretty well known thanks to
Ooh.
Stranger Things. It was already. I'm not saying it wasn't well known before, but I'm saying it's gained in
skyrocketed again,
popularity.
yeah.
I would almost say You Belong with Me is a Master of Puppets, to be honest.
Well, You Belong with Me was popular at the time.
guess.
Was like all over the place at the time. I'm saying Bad Blood for Master Puppets.
Okay.
Do you think? Yeah, I'm trying to think of like something. No, you
Bad
know what
Blood's up,
Master
yeah.
of Puppets is? Cruel Summer. When it first came out, people were like, okay, I see you. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, years later, gains popularity. For Taylor, it was the Eras tour because she started with it and everyone was like, this song effing slaps. And it skyrocketed back on the Billboard charts. For Master of Puppets, it was Stranger Things, and all of a sudden it skyrockets back on this. So I think actually, if we're really looking at it, Cruel Summer, and again, like the general public kind of knows it now. And at first, only hardcore Swifties did, and you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's
I think it makes
probably
sense.
Master.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Wow.
I had to compare and contrast, this is the research
And what's the
I
so
did.
to get back to Love Story, because all right, so Love Story is really the only Taylor Swift song
Yeah.
that I
Well, I love Love
Like,
Story.
would hold with very, 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 very high regard
hmm
as someone that doesn't normally like any pop music at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not even any music that's popular. And I even include Metallica in that
Right.
too.
I mean, they're a very
Like
big, popular
I
band.
have like all of my music that I listen to, very little of it is popular.
Right.
The
Yeah.
popular music I listen to is
But Love Story
was
just reaches
40 years ago.
special-
But like
special
Love Story is good.
part.
So what? Yeah.
What would I?
Where does that
compare
fall?
that to? Or like, where do we view it as hardcore Swifties? Like, what's your question here?
Both.
Both. What would be the love story of Metallica?
So like it's super pop. It is very well known, but still
Yeah.
beloved by the fan base.
Yeah,
And it's older.
you think Seek and Destroy?
And older. Yeah, and older.
I could feel,
For Whom
yeah,
the Bell
and an
Tolls
older.
Mark.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, it is the For Whom the Bell Tolls. Which again, I think For Whom the Bell Tolls, the
Ooh,
fandom,
yeah. Okay.
the fandom has more of a love for it than Enter Sandman per se. But the general public has definitely heard it. Again, if you've gone to a sporting event, you've heard From Whom the Bell Tolls. If you've gone to a grocery
Yeah.
shop on a Sunday morning, you've probably heard Love Story, or again on like Pop 40 radio or whatever. You've heard people
Because
have heard-
everybody loves Love Story, but Love Story's not like everybody's favorite.
but it's not everybody's
right?
favorite. No.
Yeah.
I would say that's a good thing. Like I don't know any Swifties who are like, you know what song I skip over? Love Story. But I also don't ever hear anyone
Right.
be like, that's my favorite song either. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's really
It's my favorite
again,
song. Yeah.
in the Eras tour, when it's played, everyone's like, yes, someone's always getting proposed.
Oh, of course.
to.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, you know, it's a beautiful moment, whatever. She holds up the hand in heart and she's like, let's go back to high school together. And I'm like, yes, Taylor. Except actually, no,
Yeah.
I would never. Dear God, no. But you know, in that moment, I'm like, yes, teenage love. But yeah, I would say that's a good. I think For Whom the Bell Tolls is a great comparison. Yes,
Yeah,
I think
that's
that the
Aces.
fandom loved
I
it.
loved
It is a popular song outside the fandom, but it's like not the fandom. I don't know anyone who's a hardcore Swiftie who's ever been like, my favorite song is Love Story.
Right.
But no one has ever.
Yeah,
withdrawn
yeah.
their opinion, though, either.
But nobody dislikes
You
it.
know?
Yeah.
No one dislikes it. No one is skipping over it like we are
Right.
shaking off in our car. No offense.
By the
No.
way, there's a very direct link in like cultural behavior between Swifties and Maynard fans that I didn't know existed. They are
Oh.
very similar people after this week.
Oh, Maynard fans are hardcore.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
He's the lead singer
So-
of Tool / Perfect Circle /
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that's-
Right
yeah.
on.
Like I went to a tour where it was two of his bands and
Yeah.
Primus, and all three bands are playing at the same time. and like the culture is very, very similar. They are talking about eras. They're talking about it in a different way. And it's one guy with 3 bands who's been releasing records for 30 years plus.
Years.
It's also interesting to me. I've now been at 2 concerts with Mike. One time was Billy Joel, one time was Metallica, where someone behind him has complimented him on knowing all the music. And I was like, I'm like, I know most of the music.
That's interesting.
I go see, it was very cute and sweet of the girl. And Mike does get very into it. I mean, he has seen them 34 times. I met people that have seen them over 250 times. Anyways,
so what we're saying
great.
is Mike needs to pump the numbers up.
Yeah, what we're saying is he needs to work a little harder. I'm already saying time 40, I think, needs to be in Europe. I've already told him. And I will be present for that, obviously. But
Mike Deacon has definitely not been to enough concerts.
It's very interesting. Like no, definitely not. I don't feel like I've ever been complimented on knowing no, he already has plans on who's going with him to 37.
Yes.
I requested 40 in Europe. But yeah, I mean 34 was your favorite, right? Because I was there. Good answer. His favorite.
Good answer.
Good answer. But yeah, I was like, what the heck,
I
man?
would put up Steve Harvey, but I don't have.
I'm always getting into things at shows, and no one ever compliments me. Like, but anyways, we're happy for you. And you're but I also was like, that's kind of weird. Should you not know the songs? I don't know. Anywho, let's talk about the bum fight real quick.
The bum fight.
Yes.
So the next day.
Moment we've all been waiting for.
we could not have planned. This was just out of left
You're
field.
welcome. Mike is usually mad when I request Starbucks. This is the one time he was not mad that I requested Starbucks. So we wake up. We're in a hotel. Hotel coffee is always shit. And I'm like, can we stop at a coffee shop? Let's say it's going to be Starbucks because we know there's going to be a million of them en route between our 20-minute drive from the hotel to Carowinds. We're going to pass by 8 Starbucks. Can we stop at one en route? And they're like, yeah. We map it out. We find one to stop at. We actually pass a different one. I go, oh, there's Starbucks right there. Is that not ours? And they're like, oh, no, the one we mapped out is closer. And I almost said, let's just stop at this one.
I would have had to,
but I'm glad that I didn't.
Yeah.
So we end up going to the one we originally mapped out. We get there. We get our Starbucks. Nothing exciting there. We get back in and we are waiting at the light. And what happens obviously a lot when you're waiting at a red light at an intersection, a popular intersection, which obviously this is in a little shopping plaza. So it's a popular intersection.
It's 3 lanes, by the way.
3 lanes.
Yes.
There is a man panhandling. Cool. Whatever. You know what? Times are tough. I'm not here to judge you, sir. Whatever. I get it. I'm sure you've hit a rough time. Anywho, he's there with his little please help sign, panhandling. We're all waiting there for the light to turn green because, it's awkward. You don't want to make too much eye contact, whatever. When all of a sudden I look to the left and there's another homeless looking man showing up on a bike. So he shows up on a bike and they're having words and we can't really hear it because we're a little bit far away. This is many cars deep in this thing, right?
6-7 cars from the light.
I mean, they're yelling because the guy's on the sidewalk, the other guy's in between 2 lanes of traffic. Okay. And I was like, oh, I think this guy is pissed. I think this is about to be a turf war situation. This guy likes working this intersection and this guy is coming and taking it. So they're having words. At first, I think bike guy is going to walk off and just admit defeat, find another corner, right? No. All of a sudden, again, 3 lanes of traffic. He goes to meet the guy. There are a few cars in front of us, so I can't see them. I'm like, are they fighting? What's happening? Bump fight. We can't really see anything at first, but all of a sudden, so here we're in the 2nd lane of traffic. This guy, he's approaching the 1st lane, takes his bike, shoves it at the other guy, and it just goes across, and it's now just laying flat in the 3rd lane of traffic.
Thankfully, there was no car where he threw it.
And I was like, my dude, you barely have any possession.
Whoa.
You're one good possession. You're about to get run over.
The bike looked like it was in okay shape.
Yes, it was in good shape. And I was like, oh my God, please go pick up this bike. No, they are having words.
Blocking traffic.
They're standing in front of a car where they're having this turf war, okay? And I was like, if this light turns green, oh my God. So all of a sudden, they fight for a minute. Bike is still laying over there. And they both just start walking down with their little cardboard, please help signs.
10 feet apart.
10 feet apart. They're both just fuck it. We're both just going to panhandle at the same intersection. And I've never
Well,
seen
the bike is still wow.
Well, the bike is still in the third lane of traffic.
The third lane of traffic.
And I'm like, please go get that bike. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, he literally just pushed his bike at the other guy. And I was like, oh, bum fight, it's happening. So yeah, we got breakfast and a show. It was a wild time. Wild. Anyways, I hope both of them are doing well. I hope the bike made it out okay. I don't even know. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You know what one of them needed to say to the other? You can't bring me down.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
Also, if anyone's wondering, you can get into Carowinds with all-day dining for $69.
$69.
Nice.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that.
You're a jabroni.